The battle of the sexes, the real difference between men and women's brains. The best cities for all the single ladies. Where to shop for everything Bond. James Bond. Welcome to Life Love Shopping. I'm Untitled Jackson.
And I'm Michelle Yarn. And thanks to longer work days, being connected 24/7, it's no wonder we're not getting enough sleep. And here's some advice to rest your mind and your body. First of all, stop freaking out. Staring at the ceiling while the wheels spin in your head is the worst. Instead, focus on ways to manage your inner dialogue. Maybe rehashing work dilemmas is not going to resolve anything for you. Also, set a bedtime routine. If you get into the routine of going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, yes, even on weekends, I know you do this, Andrea.
Yes, I do.
It's going to make it a lot easier for you to get the right amount of sleep every night.
It's true.
And go for the early bird special.
Yes.
Try not eating 3 hours before you go to bed. That way your body can focus more on sleep and less on digestion.
Fighting is part of being in any relationship, but there are ways to go for a resolution rather than the jugular before things get too ugly. First off, say I rather than you. It's relationship advice 101, but it works. Saying I helps avoid saying anything you might regret, like you're so lazy and all you do is watch TV. Here's the better option for you. I feel neglected when you don't help out around the house. Okay, avoid sarcasm. Now, a lot of us depend on humor to diffuse a situation. Just be careful with the sarcasm. During a fight, emotions are running high, so your joke about divorce can easily be misunderstood.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, guys, this could come back to haunt you because we ladies remember everything. And sometimes no response is the best response. When we're upset, confused, or even tired, it's easy to lash out. This is the time to take 5, keep your mouth shut, and your emotions in check. Rather than tearing your partner a new one, remember, some things are better left unsaid.
There are no single guys in this town. Does that sound like you?
Yes.
Well, maybe it's time to pack up and move to a smaller town.
According to a new Bloomberg study, the top 5 cities for singles are actually smaller cities outside of larger metropolitan areas. Stamford, Connecticut, and Bolingbrook, Illinois tied for 5th place. Newton, Massachusetts landed in 4th. In Redmond, Washington, half of all men are still looking for that someone special.
Arlington, Virginia came in 2nd, where nearly 60% of guys are missing a better half, and the #1 city for single men at 68%, Hoboken, New Jersey. Who knew?
Okay, well, New Jersey could use a lot of extra help right now thanks to the storm, so there might be a lot of hot single guys up there.
There you go. And I'm wondering if the reason all the single guys live there is because they're out partying and they want to be single. It may not be the best place to go to. I don't know.
That's a good point. All
well,
right.
do you ever go from happy one minute to crazy the next? Well, there's a good chance you're just ovulating. That's what's causing it. So says a brand new study. A woman sizes up her relationship with a different perspective during her cycle. The end result determines how sexy she thinks her man is. So in the study, women at their most fertile point who chose Mr. Stable over Mr. Sexy, they felt the most distant and found faults with their partners. But the ladies who put sexy above stability grew closer to the men. And the whole reason we push the stable guys away and keep the sexy ones nearby goes back to the Stone Age, because deep down we consider the sexy man a stronger mate. And even though we get more critical during peak ovulation, don't worry, because the study confirms it does not trigger a desire to break up.
Now, see, this is interesting because they've also done a study when it comes to birth control, and women who use birth control will pick different men as opposed to the women or women who are not on birth control, and it's the same kind of thing, and men are attracted to different kinds of women for the same reason. It's very weird the way your chemical makeup can change
you're
things.
just wired there. You don't even realize that you're doing it.
When it comes to the battle of the sexes, here's a question. Who has the bigger brain? The answer? Men. Their brains are 11% larger. The male brain is physically larger because men in general are greater in stature than women. Researchers found the part of the brain controlling social and emotional responses fired more often in male brains than female brains. This new research can help explain our differences when it comes to behavior and physique. For example, women have a lower threshold for pain but are better at learning languages, and men are good with spatial relations and tend to fight rather than flee in stressful situations.
Well, men and women can agree on one thing: Bond, James Bond. Men love Bond girls, and many women want to be one, so why not channel your inner spy girl with these looks? You could go with this Hervé Leger by Max Azria Melly dress, which is bound to seduce your James Bond. If you love fur, you can try the Shadow Fox fur coat on the bed as well. Or you could try Badgley Mishka gown, which is available at Macy's.com, and the perfect bad girl sidekick dress. You add that glamour with the nature top necklace, and by the way, gun not included. Now, the name of this dress is so fitting. It's called La Femme Mimi dress from Saks. Nothing says Bond girl better than a fur stole and lots of jewelry and diamonds. And then to show off your darker, seductive side, this black and sheer gown from Saks is perfect. You can complete the look with star drop earrings and a sexy Bond man protecting you, of course. And check out these killer heels and sexy black lace dress by Sue Wong. This outfit will have you in charge of your man and not the other way around. Or you could try this cutout back Hervé Leger by Max Azria dress. It's hard to tell if she's the good girl or the bad girl in this picture, but maybe that's the point. And throughout the show, we'll be sharing some of the most memorable Bond girl moments, compliments of 007.
Skyfall, the latest installment in the Bond franchise, is making waves. If you're considering a trip to England in the next year, why not do it 007 style and shop like Bond? Travel expert and novelist Kristen Harmel joins us today to tell us how to do just that. Welcome, Kristen.
Thanks for having me.
So what does it mean to shop like Bond?
Okay, so the author who wrote the James Bond books, of course, was Ian Fleming. And he was nothing if not a man of style, but he was also a journalist with a real eye for detail. So I think he knew that if Bond was going to be the man every man wanted to be and the man every woman wanted, he had to look, smell, and dress the part.
Yes, he does.
So basically, Fleming based a lot of what Bond wore on his own area of London, which was the St. James's district, a very upscale sort of shopping and dining area. So if you're going to shop like Bond, that's where you've got to go.
So we start in the St. James district.
You do, and there are a lot of shops in that area. It's a very high concentration of royal warrant holders. And to hold a royal warrant means that you are basically a supplier to the castle, to the royal family, of clothes, cologne, shoes, whatever.
And you get that special emblem on all your packaging, right?
Yes, and in your shop, absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
What about shoes? Bond is famous for having some very stylish shoes.
So Bond, as it explains in the books, wears John Lobb shoes. So that's someplace you can go in the Jermyn Street area of the St. James's district. They actually make the shoes from scratch. It's very, very, very cool. And they actually hold the royal warrant for bootmaking. So I would highly recommend going there. But my favorite place on Jermyn Street is Turnbull and Asser. It's a shirt maker. You can have for about 200 pounds, which is actually a steal when you think about it. You can have a shirt custom fit just for you. All of the Bonds in the films wore Turnbull and Asser shirts. Winston Churchill wore them, Bill Clinton wears them, Princess Diana wore them, so it's for men and for women, and they'll fit a shirt specifically to you, which is so cool, I think. Yeah.
What a cool gift idea,
Completely.
too.
And they dress the princes, I mean, it's amazing. It's a very cool place.
What if we want to smell like Bond?
Well, of course, we can't actually smell Daniel Craig through the silver screen.
We would love to.
But the closest you can get is we know from the books and from some of the films that Bond wears Floris. It's a cologne line called Floris. Their shop is on Jermyn Street. Ian Fleming himself, and therefore Bond, wore number 89, which is still available. But you can either get that there, or you can mix your own cologne or perfume. It is very cool. It's a really cool place to get your own individual scent.
Gosh. Okay, other gems to check out on the street?
There are some great places. There's Davidoff, which is a cigar place, very famous, and all of the Bonds have shopped for cigars there. There's Nigel Milne, which is very Bond girl. You can sort of design your own jewelry. And you might actually run into Prince William there. I mean, he frequents a place called Franco's. It's a very royal neighborhood.
Where do we sleep and eat like Bond?
Okay, so the Duke's Hotel is very close by, and that's where Ian Fleming designed the shaken not stirred martini. It was inspired by that place. So you can stay there, you can eat there, there's a great restaurant, or you can get a Bond-inspired martini or take a martini masterclass. Or there's also a place called the Mayfair Hotel, which is very close by, that has a very upscale casino in it. And the very first Bond film, Dr. No, opens in a casino. So there's really no better way to begin your Bond experience.
Kristen, thank you. For more on shopping like Bond, just visit our website, lifeloveshopping.com.
Some cool stuff. Well, we live in a time when CEOs sport jeans and hoodies, so it's hard to know how to dress for your job, and your 9-to-5 style could be great in some offices or career suicide in others. So how does your style stack up? Well, here's the Fashion 411 from Real Simple. If your look is head-to-toe designer pieces, designer labels are connected to financial success, so if you're perceived as successful, you may have a better shot at earning a higher salary or more opportunities, but you need to tread carefully, ladies, because you don't want to give off the impression that you don't need to work, so make sure you show you still care. hair. Now, if your look is a conservative, timeless suit, this is great if you work in a corporate environment for those big meetings, but make sure you show some personality or you could miss an opportunity to stand out. So try a statement necklace for that. Now, if your look is young and casual, yes, you'll come off as relaxed and easy to talk to, but dressing that way can prevent you from moving up because it seems like you're not willing to put in the effort. So if you're going to wear jeans, for instance, make sure the look is polished with a blazer and heels. If your look is sexy and you know it, ask yourself this one question. If I were going to a nightclub after work, would I have to change anything? If your answer is no, you're probably dressed inappropriately and you're probably wearing too much makeup, so you need to adjust that stat. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if your look is severe school marm, the issue here is really about seeming disconnected or behind the times. Classic is always good. You just need to make sure you update your look to this century, preferably.
Very true.
Yeah.
Still more to come here on Life Love Shopping. Hate paying airline baggage fees, a unique way to save when you fly, coming up.
Plus, our clocks will fall behind this weekend. We've got tips to survive daylight saving time when Life Love Shopping returns.
What's your name?
Ryder.
Ryder what?
Honey, Ryder. Carte.
Carte. Neuf à la banque.
I need
Carte.
another 1,000.
I admire your courage, Miss,
Trench. Sylvia Trench.
what's your name?
Jill.
Jill who?
Jill Masters.
Who are you?
My name is Pussy Galore.
Mrs. Bond, I presume?
I'm Rosie Carver. I guess I have a little explaining to do.
This is the weekend. Our clocks fall back an hour, but that doesn't mean we have to fall into the same routine. Here with tips on what to do with your new routine is KillerApps.tv tech and trends expert and my very good friend, Mitch English. Mitchie.
Hello, Andrea. You know, we've been doing this daylight saving time in America since 1918. It's supposed to save energy, but we spend more energy doing what?
Changing the clock.
Changing the clock. And if you're like me, where I collect watches,
Yes.
okay, I have like 25 different watches, it's an all-day event.
Yes,
all
that's
right?
true.
Except for one watch. I want to tell you about it. It's the Casio Edifice
Ooh,
Black
look
X
at
Rose Gold.
that.
I'm wearing right now the 1100 CG1. It's an unbelievably gorgeous-looking watch with that comfortable black resin band that's around it, as well as really nice, bold, diversified look that it has. That also has the atomic time technology inside of it. Now, what this does is that it uses a signal that comes out of Colorado and sets the watch for you. I mean, it's precise time, too.
Whoa.
So you never have to worry about that. There's 3 different models. 2 of the models have solar power use, as well as what they have a power-saving mode, meaning if you put it in a drawer, so I'm not going to wear it for a week or so, the battery life on that ones with the solar power will last up to 6 months. But when you pull it out, they'll be ready. The time will be right on spot, so you don't have to worry about it. Affordable, between $200 and $450, and they're available at select retailers nationwide.
Perfect gift for the superhero in your life.
They'll always be on time.
Finally.
Here's a question for you. How often do you change that water filter in your refrigerator, Jackson?
I know not enough.
Not enough.
I know I'm supposed to, but I don't.
Every 6 months, because when it gets clogged up, all those contaminants are going to get in your
like
water.
mercury and lead.
You don't want that. It's going
No.
to make your ice taste really bad, too. So
Oh,
our
that's
friends
not
at GE are actually going to help you out and help you get into that routine. If you go to GEapplianceparts.com and order your water filter from there and use the code CLOCK,
Okay.
you're going to get 10% off when you use that promo code. Plus, they're going to give you free delivery, so you never even have to leave your home, and you're going to get a
I
great
love
looking,
that.
good use out of your filter
It
every
is
6 months.
stylish
It is a
looking. I
stylish
like
look,
it.
indeed. Alrighty, the saying goes, change the clock, change your batteries in your smoke alarm. Andrea, this is so important
is.
because our firefighters have to go out every call. If there's somebody inside of a home because they didn't hear an alarm or
Yes.
they didn't get out, they put their life on the line. So our friends at Kidda are actually starting a campaign called Be a Hero, Save a Hero. And what it will do is if you make a pledge, you go to alarmpledge.com, make the pledge to, number 1, make sure you have the smoke alarms on the correct places in your home, each floor in and outside of each bedroom. Number 2, replace any smoke alarm that's over 10
That's
years
a
old.
really good
People
point.
don't think about
No,
it,
they
right?
don't.
And 3rd, you make sure that your family has an escape plan and that you use it. Make that pledge, Share it on social media. The website will help you out doing that. They'll make a donation to the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation and help the Good Guys. These are two great organizations that help out firefighters that have fallen as well as injured and their families.
That is a great organization. We do not do enough for our firefighters.
No, we
so
really
that's
don't.
Great.
So it's great to see places like companies like Kidda to help out. Now, I said change the batteries.
Yes.
You want to make sure that you get the best and put in there. And the best way to remember, think of my wife. She's a redhead. Look for the copper top. That's right. And that's the Duracell. Guess what? They have made some huge advancements in battery technology with the new Duralock Power Preserve technology. You take the ones, put it in your smoke alarm, but the ones you put in the storage, they'll last for up to 10 years.
You are kidding me.
Yeah, so you know that they're always going to be ready for you.
God.
They come in the different models, of course, the AAA and the 9-volt and the AA as well. So you're going to have them in storage. They're going to last for you, and you know that they're the best because they're inside of your smoke alarm and they're going to last. And again, make sure that you change them out though every 6 months because it's constantly in use. If you think about that.
And that's a great investment too, because batteries are expensive. But if you know that they're going to last you up to 10 years,
you're going to save money.
Oh my gosh, that is terrific.
I
Well,
love
Mitch,
Duracell.
these are some great ideas to get us into the routine of not only changing the clocks but changing other things that are very important in our daily life. All right, Mitchie, thank you. For more info on all the products mentioned, just head to killerapps.tv or to our website, lifeloveshopping.com.
Do you have a home improvement project in mind? Well, fall may be your last good shot at completing it before winter sets in. So what should top your to-do list? Your roof. Either repair it or replace it because the extreme heat of the summer can increase the time frame of the project since workers may be affected by the heat. So you need to fix it before that snowfall. Also flooring. Some types of flooring adhesives need temperature of the house to be between 75 and 80 degrees. That way the glue adheres properly. Also, you should replace drafty windows so you can avoid rain and snow pouring into your home, and replace those windows now because the colder it gets, the more elements workers will have to deal with. And check your heating system. You want to make sure the water heater is protected from the elements along with your water pipes, and check your heating unit's filter, gas flow, and the flame, and make sure you call a pro if you need help with that. How's your concrete and mortar? The cold dampness of winter makes these projects more difficult to complete. Temperatures should be between 40 degrees and rising, or else the elements won't set properly. And don't forget painting. Most paint products need temperatures to be between 70 and 90 degrees to dry properly, and for the exterior, 40 degrees or warmer.
The cost of flying during the holidays can be expensive.
And Jessica Reyes from our news partner, The Daily Buzz, is here with some ways to save on airline fees. Hey, Jess.
Hello, ladies. And yes, it's expensive enough to travel during the peak holiday months. Why not invest in this? It's called the Jack to Go. The ingenious wearable luggage carries up to 22 pounds of your belongings and can fold into a bag.
Wow.
It may not be pretty, but it's a coat that's also a bag available in different styles too. Cost is around $100. Or you could just follow these simple tips to avoid airline fees. You want to measure and weigh your bags before you fly. Make sure they don't go over the weight limit for an additional fee. That's an important one. Be certain about your travel plans. Refundable tickets are more expensive, but if you need to change your cheaper non-refundable tickets, it can cost you an extra $75 to $175. You also want to book your tickets directly through the airlines. Some airlines charge an additional fee if you need to change a ticket that was booked by a third party, like an online travel agent. Also, bring your own food. Airline food prices and airport food prices are inflated. Bringing your own food will save you some cash. And those are just some tips to save some dinero, some cash. I'm Jessica Reyes. Happy trails to you.
All right, Jess, thank you. Still more to come here on Life Love Shopping. Why big screen villains hold the secret to having a successful relationship.
Plus, we've got Denzel and your dinner and a movie all lined up for the weekend.
Magnificent view.
Always wanted to have Christmas in Turkey.
Is that a Christmas joke?
For me? No. Never.
So isn't it time you unwrapped your present?
Oh, I think so.
Welcome back to Life Love Shopping. If your plans include dinner and a movie this weekend, ladies, do I have a treat for you? Plenty of great options and some serious big screen man candy. First up, Denzel Washington in Flight.
I'm on the list, baby girl. There is all kinds of crazy news people out here. You're a rock star, man. You will never pay for another drink as long as you live.
Captain Whitaker is a real American hero.
This is Hugh Lang. He's an attorney from Chicago. Why do we need a lawyer?
You don't remember having your blood drawn the night of the crash? You had alcohol in your system. That could be life in prison.
Woo! Denzel is Whip Whitaker, a seasoned airline pilot who crash lands his plane and saves nearly every soul on board. After the crash, Whip is hailed as a hero, but an investigation reveals something more troubling underneath the surface. Lots of Oscar talk for Denzel for this role. And if you're too afraid to fly with Denzel, how about spending 2 hours in the dark with Russell Crowe in Quentin Tarantino's new flick, The Man with the Iron Fists?
When you forge a weapon, you need 3 things. The right metal, temperatures over 1400 degrees, and someone who wants to kill. Here in Jungle Village, we got all 3.
A stranger channels an ancient energy to transform himself into a human weapon as he fights alongside heroes. One man must harness this power to become the savior of his adopted people. And Wreck-It Ralph is perfect for a family night out. Ralph is tired of being overshadowed by Fix-It Felix, the good guy who always saves the day, so Ralph decides to take matters into his own massive animated hands. My pick for this weekend, yes, is Flight, because Denzel's getting a lot of buzz for that, so that's worth the full ticket price.
I would pay to see anything with Denzel
I
in
know,
it.
thank you.
Well, you know, we're always so focused on the hero and the heroine in movies, we usually never think about the villain, but there are a few love lessons you can learn from the big screen bad boys and girls. The Joker from Dark Knight, for example, reminds us to have a sense of humor. Do as the Joker would do and laugh a little or a lot. Tight bonds and positive feelings form when people laugh together. Also, the Evil Queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. She reveals it's okay to be selfish sometimes. It's easy to get caught up in a new relationship and put your own needs aside. So she's a good reminder to take time to treat yourself so you're the most beautiful one of all. And then Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter. He's a lesson in patience, let me tell you. If you're too upset about something, take some time to cool down before you get into a heated argument. Lord Voldemort waited about 4 years before he confronted Mr. Potter.
Tomorrow on Life Love Shopping, is your bedroom too boring or too girly for your man? How to turn it into a boudoir you both will love with just a few simple changes. And meet the woman who's inspiring mothers everywhere to stay in the picture. Her story tomorrow. That does it for Life Love Shopping. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
I don't think it's enough to just look pretty anymore. You know, that may well have been true in the past, but certainly not now.
Bond girls don't look like models. They have a specific look, a look that fits to the movie.